Yeah, let me grab a glass of water.
Don't die. Did I kill Cody Wanner? Which one's more clickbaity? Thank you so much for being on the Epic Kate Show, Mr. Cody Wanner.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. I'm super hyped on. Look at that. The Epic Cage. I didn't see that in the background.
Yes,
Rad. Listen, inspire, grow. Good set. It's a good set you got there.
Thank you. I just today added the PlayStation Guitar Hero thing. It was for free.
Right.
It was free at a secondhand shop, and I was like, oh, I can add it to my set. So I thought it would be interesting to kind of go through a bit of a timeline of your life.
Cool.
Like,
cool.
there's all these, I have these little chunks of the story from your videos, like the whole,
Right.
Your company was bought out from you. You made friends with Peter McKinnon. You were kind of a small creator. And then you got the shout out from this lady at a gym. And then you got exploded a little bit, and just all these little bits and pieces.
Where do you want me to start?
Where does it start?
Yeah, I mean, probably it starts back when I was in like 7th or 8th grade, started skateboarding, started videoing the skateboarding, and with the help of my best friend, he actually did most of the editing at that point, but I watched over his shoulder a little bit, like summer afternoons, and just really fell in love with making videos and shooting videos, just having fun on video, like that whole kind of interplay between what it's like to actually experience something and then how different it is to see it played back on video, and trying to bring those two experiences like closer together, like when it comes to authenticity and like and video's ability to communicate emotion and that sort of thing. So um yeah, kept making videos ever since those skate videos, all the way up through high school, just like friends, summer recap stuff. When I traveled after high school and did like, I was like the unofficial documentarian of the group, did like 4 videos, like kind of recap videos of a trip over to Turkey. We were in Istanbul and Izmir and Cappadocia and like all these different places in Turkey, did like a recap video of those when we got back. And like this whole time I'm just editing on like the editor that came with like Sony's handycam footage on a CD, and just like super rudimentary stuff, but again, just really loved it. And went to school then for film, learned a good bit about film theory and the art of science and story. And then when I graduated from film school, I got a different job. I got a job in fundraising for my college, but I did keep on making videos throughout that whole time, but it was a lot less. But I did also start to dabble in like the freelance world, making videos for people who wanted to pay me. And then after that, I did that job for about 2.5 years, left that job, started doing freelance video, freelance like web design sales, and then partnered up with 2 people I graduated from film school with. We primarily shot wedding videos at first, and then we transitioned over to kind of the commercial video space. And that's the company that those 2 partners bought me out of after. So we grew that for like 3 years or almost 4 years together. And I started a vlog in 2018. I was doing this daily vlog and really just started to see the value of the kind of like quick and dirty vlog style video and the value of it for businesses, and started to talking with my partners and saying, what if we implement this style, this structure for our clients? And my partners were like, we get it, like we also see and understand the value of it, but we just want to continue down the road of like more highly produced commercial video. And so that was the first time we really had like a difference of opinion on like vision, direction of the company. So we started discussing a buyout, and then that went through in November of 2018. My partners bought me out of the company, and from then on, I've just been full-time freelancing, making videos on YouTube, sponsored videos on YouTube and making money that way, but also, still making more vlog style, kind of quick and dirty videos for brands and businesses. But yeah, back to that daily vlogging. My channel had a couple different spikes, and like a lot of really crazy different opportunities that happened, like as a result of people seeing the daily vlog grind, because it can be an inspirational thing to see, or just like, how's this guy like doing this every day? Like, how is every day he's putting out a video, regardless of how good or bad it is? Like, there's something kind of magical about the grind of it. So yeah, you mentioned, I worked with two women at two different gyms, at one point, and just looking at their stories, trying to tell their story, and do it in a vlog style way, and those are both really cool opportunities. But yeah, when my channel saw some of the biggest like spikes in views and growth, one of them was up in New York City. Just got this like glimpse of a second where I got to ask Casey Neistat a question while he was walking from one side of his office in 368 to the other side, and kind of wrap that little question into a vlog. And that video got a bunch of views, and I saw some growth. I think maybe like 1,000 subscribers or so came from that video. And also a lot of like dislikers, and like people saying I'm just trying to copy Casey, and all of the discourse and conversation that comes from that, and then making videos about like, am I copying Casey and Peter McKinnon and all these people who we all look up to, and is that okay? Like, if yes, is that okay? What does copying actually mean? All that stuff. And but yeah, in there, Peter McKinnon started, saw one or two or three of my videos, and eventually reached out and was like, hey, you should come up to Canada and we should make a video together. And I was like, yeah, man, that sounds great. So about a month later, went up, made a couple videos with Pete, and that was the first time I met him in person. But fast friends, became friends, and and then have since then got to do some traveling together, got to make a bunch of more videos together. But that my channels, I was in a video on his channel, on Pete's channel. At the time, I think he had like 2 million subscribers. So of those 2 million, like 20,000 of those people came over to my channel, as a result of seeing that video, which is called "Do You Even Matter" on his channel. It's a great video. I go back and watch it still. It's like super inspirational. Um, and yeah, just kept going from there. I got the chance to work with some really cool brands and like do some really cool trips and stuff. Red Bull is one that I've got the chance to work with, and went to France and Austria snowboarding with Red Bull, and then over to Italy covering like parkour free running stuff with Red Bull, which is like absolutely incredible. Got to do, just recently did a dream project with the phone company OnePlus, where got like 30 pounds of Nerds Rope gummy clusters, and hired a crew and a model, and did some really cool, bright, colorful stuff with this candy. And yeah, just like a lot of crazy opportunities that came from the channel. But that's the story in a nutshell.
Nice. The first thought that just comes to me is, what did it feel like to see 20,000 subscribers? That number there. What was that like?
It was so cool. It was incredible, because at the time, like before I went up and made those videos in Canada, I think I had like maybe 2,700 subscribers or something. And like, in my mind, that was more than enough for like the subscriber goal of like what the channel wasn't really about, like a primary goal. I'm sure it was on the goal list, like top 10 goals, growing subscribers was there. But like, in my mind, I just remember crossing 1,000 and just thinking, that's crazy. There's 1,000 people watching these videos and have hit the subscribe button. Like, that's insane. And then 2,000, it already just seems so massive, um, to me. And that's where kind of the concept of No Small Creator, which is
Mm.
just a group that I started at one point, came from. It's just how massive even one video view is, or just the process of creating a video, how massive that is, and then and how the subscribers is kind of just like almost an afterthought of just how massive creation is. In my mind, like 2,700, I was like, this is great. That's more than I ever dreamed of. Like, that's fantastic. So the crazy thing was, those subscribers were subscribing as I was making the 8 hour, 9 hour drive back home to my house from Toronto. So like it wasn't like I was able to like sit in my office and just watching them come in, you know what I mean? Which I would have been doing. I would have just been hitting refresh on my computer, like just watching. But some of my friends were like doing that at their jobs, and I've talked to them about it, and they just said how just anytime you see something with like thousands of actions happening in a short period of time, that is just a very crazy phenomenon, you know? So, but yeah, when I got back from Canada and that night, you know, I think I had like 22,000 or 24,000 subscribers or something. And I think I did a live stream actually that night with my wife. We did this thing called Coffee on the Couch, and yeah, just it was amazing. It was absolutely incredible, and I was just so grateful and kind of in shock and just like trying to experience every second of it and just live it up. It was a great feeling.
I don't remember how I even heard about No Small Creators. I
Yeah.
I found I was joining different Facebook groups to connect with other creators, and I
Yep.
just really appreciate this one, that it's not just drop your link. I like,
Right.
oh, those are so annoying.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And I'm just so thankful for this community. I've had so many conversations on this channel with other No Small creators, and I love
Yeah.
the breadth of people, of the cultures, the countries, the perspectives. It's so neat.
Yeah, I mean, it is something I'm just so grateful for as well. And I think there's close to 5,000 people in there, or maybe over 5,000 now. And, you know, obviously not everybody's like engaged, but a lot of people are engaged in the conversations on the group. But yeah, because of that extra hurdle of like, you're not allowed to just drop a link and leave. Um, you know, there's been numerous conversations and like people who get mad about some of the roles, or sorry, some of the rules of the group, but that extra hurdle really does, I think, work to foster a no, it's you have to stay and engage and apply more effort if you want to be a part of this group. And I think because of that, it really has fostered a lot of really cool conversations and connections, like you said, like international connections. And yeah, so it's been amazing to see it just kind of like you know, take on a life of its own, that Facebook group.
Yeah. I wanted to talk a little bit about your video with Kamga and just how special that was, that you saw this video of his. What was it about his video that connected with you?
Yeah, for me with Kamga, um, he was just like really he had grasped the thing that is so hard to grasp, which is how do I communicate with this camera as though it were a person sitting in front of me, like I'm having a real, authentic conversation with. And like, you know, I say took me like 114 videos, daily videos, to really get to that point where I felt like I was being myself, where I had like found my voice in front of this camera. And so to come across, you know, anytime you come across a creator who you feel like they have figured that out, like they're communicating their real, authentic self through this medium of YouTube, you know, it triggers, you know, it's a little flag goes up, you know what I mean? Of like, okay, here's someone who's got it. And that was the case when the first Kamga video I saw. Um, I think he was talking about like taking a break from posting videos on YouTube, and it was just super sincere. he was asking all of these great questions. He was causing me to ask myself all of these great questions, and just really encouraging, in the tone and the conversation that he was bringing up. I was going out to Colorado, and saw that's where he was, and so I got the chance to hook up with him and make a video.
Oh, that was such a beautiful video. And that you were able to surprise him with the gear. And
Yeah, yeah.
it was, I'm pretty sure I cried. And I left a long, meaningful comment on his video. And then we connected, and now we're friends.
Yeah,
It's just
awesome.
so amazing that these relationships make so many things possible.
Totally agree. Yeah, yeah. I think it's so the connectedness of the entire global population, seemingly in 2021, is crazy. And to see YouTube be able to kind of foster some of those connections, and social media, it's just fantastic.
Yeah. And I just love that your style, it's so cinematic and brilliant, but the heart is the key. Like the video with you having lost your favorite knife that your dad gave you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I cried at that video. It was
Awesome.
so genuine.
That was one of those things where it's like, I always would say, or I still always say, but I would say it often in 2018 when I was daily vlogging, is like, hone the storytelling, self documentation skills now, so that if and when you get a story to tell, you'll be able to tell it. And that was an example of that. Like, I was just on a freelance shoot. I was shooting BTS for this, um, uh, the Navy, and um, yeah, I was staying in a hotel 2 nights, and I woke up, the day after the shoot, and my knife was gone. And like, it's not my favorite knife. It's my only knife. Like, it's the knife that I was given by my dad when I was 14 years old, I believe. So it's at this point now 21 years old, and I've been carrying it in my pocket since I was 18. Like, it's my knife. It's literally, it's the only knife, and it wasn't there. It was gone. And I, a thing with a knife is like, or any, physical item, is you have to know at any point they can break, they can get lost, they can get stolen. Like, I never want to be so overly connected to an object that, like, um it matters. You know what I mean? Like, the objects don't matter, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But this knife, if any object matters in my life, like, this would be the thing. And so, I just decided to go back and retrace my steps, and just started vlog documenting the whole thing. And it was a situation where I was trying to be strong. I was trying to just not care. And, I convey this in the video. But when I find it, which, spoiler alert, I find it, I had used it, which I often do, to prop up my camera, so that for a vlog shot, so to get the lens just a little bit higher. It's sitting right in the picnic table where I had used it to prop it up. And I find it, and I just break down crying because um, of how badly I wanted to find it. And after that video, I said to my wife, I was like, I think it might be time to get a new knife, and, like, put this one in a safe place, and just let this one um, be the one that has a sentimental value. And then my new knife, if I lose it, I don't want to have to break down crying every time I lose something that it really is a utility. Like, I use it all the time. I use it every day. So yeah, no, it was one of those situations where, if I wasn't comfortable on camera, if I hadn't kind of given myself the practice of self documentation, that video probably would have fallen flat. I don't know if I would have broken down crying while holding up a camera vlogging. That's not a normal thing to be able to do. Most people don't like to be seen crying, so to try to document it yourself, is a weird thing. But yeah, and so I put that video together and just felt like, 2020 was a hard year. Maybe some people will resonate with this and losing something and finding something and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for mentioning that video.
Self-documenting, it's so interesting how many different opinions there are about it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone should daily vlog, or no, vlogging, the time of vlogging is over, it's boring, nobody cares what you ate for breakfast. And
Yeah.
it's like, but there's something special about the real human experience and telling a story that is going to resonate with someone else and inviting people into your world.
The crazy thing about vlogging is like, that's true. People are over knowing what you had for breakfast, and like that's totally true. Vlogs don't matter at all until they do. Until they're like, you're like lost in somebody's vlog and you're like, I can't believe this level of whatever, but expression through video. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a huge argument, I think, for self documentation, um, just in the fact that it's such good practice for other forms of storytelling. It's such a good kind of history lesson for yourself and your kids or future generations. But also just the fact that you might end up capturing the beginning of some really amazing story that really does have like value right now on YouTube for hundreds or thousands or millions of other people to watch. We last night we just watched an HBO documentary. It was like 40 minutes long, and the entire thing was composed of mostly vertical video, cell phone footage of people who were on the Diamond Princess, which is one of like the first big outbreaks of COVID-19, outside of Wuhan. And so this documentation, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just thinking, I'm so glad that these people were documenting this. Like, we wouldn't be able to see any of this had these people not gotten their cell phones out and made these little videos. And I'm not sure of like the story behind why all of them were. Maybe they just knew, like, okay, this is crazy, I should start recording something. Or maybe some of them had practice vlogging or making Instagram stories or TikToks or whatever. But whatever it was, there's all this footage that now is so incredibly valuable, but we wouldn't have it unless people had the forethought to get out their phones and capture it. So every time I pick up a camera, like we just went to the beach, my family and I, every time I start recording, it's always in the back of my mind that like, yeah, this stuff might not be super useful, but it also might be the most useful thing that you've ever captured. So, make it count.
I love how inspired I feel, like, from that. One of the last videos of yours that I watched, it like inspired me, like, yeah, I'm gonna make a vlog today. Like, I haven't done it in a really long time because I've had a lot of conversations lately, and I have a lot to
Yeah.
edit, and it's just a lot to do. I've got this lady who's a professional PR person booking people for me. I've got like
Oh, wow.
rock stars coming up. Like, I've talked
Yeah.
to Scott Page from Pink Floyd and
Wow.
Leland Sklar and just all these incredible people. And so, but I was like, no, I watched this Cody vlog. I'm gonna do a vlog. I miss vlogging, actually.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it.
But it's so discouraging for so many of us vloggers that we just feel, how do we find our people? You got this amazing opportunity with Peter McKinnon. Like, my friend Nanny, she got a shout out from, what's his name, Bobby Duke, and in like a day she got 1,000 subscribers. And people, I think it's really easy for people to think, oh, it's only because of the shout outs, but like, no, it's if people actually stick around beyond the shout out, continue to watch, continue to engage, that's because of your skill, and they wouldn't have found you otherwise.
Right.
I'm blabbering, but I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is something that it can be super frustrating, is like, and you can think like, where's my shot? Like, where's my shout out? I just want a shout out. So you do get a lot of people who then end up asking for a shout out, and um I totally agree. Like, it's not fair. There are numerous channels who I consider like way undersubscribed, right? Because like you watch a video and you're like, oh my goodness, this is a 1 million subscriber channel. There's
Yeah.
two of my friends, Nathan and Jonathan, they run this channel called Method Box. And every time I watch a video, I'm like, this is a 1 million subscriber channel. Where are all the subscribers? Like, they just haven't found them yet. But a cool kind of, on the flip side of that is when you find a channel that's completely undersubscribed, um, and then like you get to follow that channel, and then it starts to take off, like the algorithm or the people start to find it, and it gets closer to, you know uh, not being oversubscribed, obviously, but just growth. Somebody who comes to mind is a guy named Jake Frew. When I started following him, or like the first video I saw of him, I'm like, what is this? Like, did the Discovery Channel like start a YouTube channel? Did somebody from, just insane cinematics, and all this aerial stuff and like adventure stuff and riding bikes and all this crazy stuff and cool transitions and just everything. And I think at the time, I think he had like less than 1,000 or less than 2,000 subscribers, and now he's got like 237,000, because he just kept putting in the work, and he didn't let the fact that he was so undersubscribed get to him in either way. I've been reading this book called Ego is the Enemy,
Ooh.
and it's a knife edge that you walk on when you're vlogging, when you're making videos that kind of like star yourself, because in one sense, you can get very frustrated because more people aren't watching. In another sense, the ego required to think more people should be watching this, like that's called like main character syndrome. Like, that's the other side of the slope where like that can really derail you as well. So it's a knife edge that we walk on, doing this thing, and trying to stay out of your head about it in either way, and so um yeah, it's cool to see people doing it right, but it's also cool to know that whether you've got 2 subscribers or 2 million subscribers, you're there. Both of those people are struggling with similar things about not knowing what to make for their audience that's going to work well, not knowing if they even like making what they're making for themselves, not feeling creatively inspired, and all of that stuff. Like, it doesn't matter where you're at. We're all just human beings who are like struggling with the human condition and purpose and all of that sort of stuff. So that's always been really inspiring to me, and especially meeting so many creators who have millions of subscribers and just hearing the same things over and over, and just realizing, oh, like you're a person too, just like me. And that's been really inspiring for me.
Yeah, I bet every single one of those creators that you've talked to, I bet all of them have imposter syndrome
Or have struggled with it at one point
at
or
one point.
another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right. And right, yeah, like you never get to a point where you feel like, okay, I've made it, you just, you don't get there, and unless you like mentally tell yourself, um similar to how I felt like when I had 2,700 subscribers. Like, if you don't take a moment to step back and appreciate all that you have and all of that you've been given, and where your life has brought you to, and the skills and talents that you've acquired and that you're still continuing to hone with every single video you make, and the practice, if you don't take a moment to step back and appreciate that stuff, then you'll just never, you'll just never feel like you made it. And even if you do take those moments, you'll quickly fall back into but there's still more to do. And that's true. There is always still more to do. There's more to learn. There's more people to help. There's more people who, you need to make sure they find you because you've got something that, like you said about the video with Kamga, it's like, I loved reading the comments on that video because of how it affected people around the world. And I mean, on all of my videos, I love those comments where people say like, "Hey, this was happening, then I saw your video, and now this is happening." Like, that's crazy. That's amazing. So, be encouraged that every single person, no matter where they are, no one's made it. There's always more to learn, and there's always ways to improve. And like, that's the life, that's the life of a creator, of an artist. And be encouraged. We're all in that together.
Yeah. I was thinking back to a comment that I left on your Cody Vibe channel when you had started this channel as a place to put the stuff that wasn't good enough for the main channel, and you wanted to dive back into daily vlogging, and it grew by small creator standards like myself. It grew very fast. That it was very short amount of time to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I've been doing this for 2.5 years, and I'm still not there, but I'm not bitter. But I remember just being so confused when you said that it was a failure. I was like, but you had interaction. You crossed the 1,000 subscriber threshold. You got your freaking community tab opened on another place. Like, how was it a failure?
Yeah. For me, the reason that was a failure is because the goal of that channel there was two goals: to make me feel creatively inspired every single day, and to help me make my personal goals happen, which was like make a certain amount of money. I think there was a goal of like writing a book. There was a goal of like 2 or 3 online courses. Like, the only goal of that channel was to make me feel creatively inspired and to help me accomplish those personal goals. And so I gave it a shot for 30 days or whatever I did, and it wasn't helping me get any closer to my personal financial goals and what I was trying to do. And I wasn't feeling creatively inspired. I was feeling creatively drained as a result of making those videos. So that channel was a failure. And I got a lot of comments that said like, how dare you call this a failure when, you got 1,000 subscribers? And I'm like, friends, I was never talking about the subscribers. There was never a subscriber goal that like, it wouldn't, in other words, had I been creatively inspired and had it helped me accomplish those goals, but I only got 30 subscribers on it, it would have been a success. The number of subscribers that channel had nothing to do with whether it failed or succeeded. And I think there is something to be learned from that about any channel on YouTube. Like, it's fine if 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 100K, 1,000,000. It's fine if those are goals that you have, quote unquote. But the goals that matter far more than subscriber goals are the ones that you have control over, and the ones that, in so many ways, like the subscriber number is just, it's what's called like a lag measure. It's subscribers only come as a result of you accomplishing some of those goals that you do have control over, and the the stories that you're telling. So yeah, for me, there's more of a subscriber there's more of a subscriber goal on my main channel, where I want to see that channel growing. But on the Vibe channel, there never was.
I was chuckling to myself as I was thinking like, clickbaity title for this video: is Cody Wanner a failure?
Yeah, it's a great one. I love it.
If you need to go and run and get some water, that's totally cool.
Yeah, let me grab a glass of water.
Don't die. Did I kill Cody Wanner?
No, I'm good.
Which one's more clickbaity? No, I'm allergic. I'm allergic to clickbait. I there's times when I probably could have done better with videos, but I just didn't want to go there.
Right. Yeah, that's like something that we always have to play the game of, of like you want to get as many views on something as you can, but like how far do you want to go with that clickbait?
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good explanation. And people who have not ever daily vlogged have no idea the toll it takes. Like those are some pretty lofty goals you made there to do for this kind of a time commitment with being a husband, a father, business owner, entrepreneur, blah blah blah.
Right.
Or blah,
Yeah.
blah's not very nice, etc. is not to say like, yes, I'm going to add this other few hour commitment into my life, and that's going to give me more time to do the things I want.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so, right, just it didn't work the way that I thought it would work, and so yeah, it didn't work.
It must be weird to deal with comments of people that I know I was one of them. I was like, it's not to deal with people's expectations when people feel personally invested in your life and have been following for a while and are trying. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I think so. Well, yeah, so what I'm hearing you say is just like when people comment something that isn't, when a comment is just more like questioning like that, dealing with that sort of thing. And I think, yeah, I think it's a lesson in communication, and like, that's mass communication is like a whole area of study, right? But I like to say that every single video on YouTube is a study in miscommunication, right? Because it's like no matter how much you try to clearly and concisely convey what it is that you mean to say, there's just so many ways that it can go wrong, and you can miscommunicate that, whatever the actual piece of knowledge or whatever it was. So yeah, and it happens time and time again where you post something you think it's going to be taken one way, and then it ends up being taken a different way, at least by a couple people. And yeah, I just think it's really interesting. It's like interesting to engage with those comments and conversations.
Because everything that we take in from our experiences, the culture we grew up in, and it's a lens on everything else in the world.
Yeah, totally. And we all view your content through that lens that we've created, that's been creative for us. So yeah, there's just a lot of, lenses diffuse and diffract and bend light, right? So, when you have a lens in front of your face, and that's how you engage with the world, and everything that the world is putting out is going to be bent and distorted because of that lens, right? And so in that way, cinematographers, like YouTubers, we have like a leg up because our cameras are literally right there in front of us, and they're literally bending and distorting light to make it work for the camera and the sensor. So that's a metaphor for actual just engaging with the outer world.
Yeah, I can tell you've thought about that before.
Yeah, that that's like film theory coming in there.
Oh yeah. What does no small creator mean to you today?
Yeah, so I mean, in its very literal sense, it's a Facebook group where people who make anything, but primarily YouTube videos, can come together and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of making YouTube videos. Like in a very literal sense, that's what it is. In a like more theoretical kind of poetic sense, it's the idea, and it still is this to me, the idea that it is absolutely amazing that we as creators, you and I, can get like a picture, a script, a story, an idea inside of our heads, and then somehow convert it into something tangible that's outside, that exists in the world. Like that is a massive undertaking and endeavor. And to there's just nothing small about it. Like that's massive creation. The act of creating something, taking it from inside here and putting it out into the world, is massive. So like, don't ever limit yourself by don't hold on to this limiting, what I would consider a limiting belief of like, I am a small creator, because there's nothing small about what you're doing. And so that sort of like mantra, I recently made a maker's mantra that I that sometimes just plays in my head. And one of the lines in it comes directly from that. Like, we take a thing from inside our head and put it out into the world. And for me to call myself, I'm a small creator, or more often people would say I'm just a small creator. For me, that's limiting. That feels limiting. That feels like I am not capable of doing big things, And I think everybody's personality is different. Everyone has different ways that they talk to themselves, has different ways that they're motivated. So like, I think there's a swath of people who, like, that's not what that means to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they say I'm a small creator, they think of it more as, very literally, my channel is below a certain size and eventually it will be above it. And that's what I'm striving towards. That's motivating for me. So I'm going to continue to call myself a small creator. And like, obviously I'm totally fine with that. But for me, and I think for a lot of people, we didn't like how limiting it felt to say, I'm just a small creator. So to get rid of that and to say, I'm a creator, my YouTube channel is smaller than it will be, is much more kind of empowering, and not only helps you to dream big, but helps you to feel more comfortable taking massive action. Like, something that you run up against when you're making videos is like, how much time and energy should I invest into this video? Should I invest into this YouTube channel? And in my mind, if you're a small creator, the answer is going to be like, well, not a lot, because it's just a small thing. It's a small little side thing. You shouldn't invest a lot of time or money or energy into it. It's a small thing. But if it's not a small thing, if it's a massive thing with massive potential, both in a revenue way and in a purpose way, and like, all the stuff that a YouTube channel is, the ability to mass communicate, then you're going to be much more likely to invest more time, more energy, more struggle, like more education, more money in some cases, much more willing to invest that stuff. And that's that's the headspace that I want to be in, where I see it for what it is, and I'm willing to invest the proper amount of myself into it.
Yes. Oh, I'm really glad I asked that. I'm hearing you talk about that. I'm like, yes, from the very beginning, I was investing in it like it was already a massive thing. That I've put so many hundreds of hours into this channel over the past 2.5 years, and didn't worry about how big it
I love it.
I didn't even really want to edit my videos. I just wanted to be like, this is what I want to talk about today. And my first videos were holding it like this and talking for 2 minutes. So it wasn't until I really jumped into editing about like 3 weeks after I started. But finding this group, I was I've only ever recorded with my phone, and I would never have tried to do the cinematic things that I have attempted to do because I was inspired by seeing the amazing things other people did. So it pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I tried things. And sometimes I still struggled with, oh, but they don't think I'm a real creator because I use my phone. They think that you have to have a $2,000 camera or whatever. But I got over that, and I just took the encouragement to try something.
Yeah, 100%. And just, yeah, I mean, quick side note that's related, that entire losing my pocket knife video, that was shot entirely on a phone. Like, it really doesn't, how good or bad a video is does not lie in the gear that it's shot on. You can make great stuff with a phone.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that video, are you familiar with David Hoffman?
I don't know.
He is a filmmaker, documentary filmmaker, and now YouTuber. And he has all these clips. He was doing the commercial world and is still a bit for consulting and things, making documentaries. In the 1960s, he took a 16 millimeter camera and was interviewing people who had never seen video cameras before. Like, I feel like he's kind of in the genre of, he's kind of the grandpa of YouTube. I never referred to him like that. If he watches this video, I hope he's not offended. But he looks at it like you do, and he calls his camera a future box, and he sees the value and like how much he's seen the evolution of video over the past 50 years, and that feeling of legacy with it, that this is, you don't know how important this is and how important this is going to be for your great grandkids. And did you want to say
I love it. I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, he's got an amazing YouTube channel. I feel a little bit strange when I say it, but I still am really happy to say it because I still pinch myself like, did this actually happen? That I had a conversation with him, and I was on his channel, and he was, and then I edited my version and put it on mine, and he edited his version and put it on his. And to see my big goofy smile on the thumbnail was just so weird and so out of body.
I love it.
But I came up with something to ask you today because I don't know if you know, I used to be a part of a theater company called Covenant Players. I mean, I don't expect you to have known. You don't have time to watch all the No Small Creators videos.
Right.
But it was a really amazing community.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out today that one of the guys who was in it that I joined, we're the same age, I'm pretty sure. So when I was 19, I joined this ministry, and I met so many people, and so many people became my family. And I found out today that one of the guys that I knew, he was probably in his early 60s. He passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation with him on this channel, and so I was walking, trying to process this, and I thought of a question for you that was like, these videos are going to be around forever, I think. I don't think YouTube's going anywhere. I think long after we're gone, these videos will be here. So if someone was watching this video after you were gone, what would you want to encourage them to do?
Yeah. Well, first off, I'm just so sorry for your loss, and yeah, that's like, yeah, I'm very sorry. Thanks for sharing that. And Um, yeah, legacy, I think, is weird, such a weird concept, and it's like hard to think about. But I do think, as a creator, as someone who captures moments on video or even photos, and really writing and all of the different ways you can kind of capture experiences and thoughts. I do think like that we're more apt to engage with and wrestle with like the idea of legacy just because of like, the documentation of it. But I think the first thing is like, that's so beautiful that you had a conversation with him and it's on the channel and it's there. You know what I mean? Like that stuff, like that is just, I can't even put words to it. Like that stuff just hypes me up so much. I'm just so glad that um exists, you know? There's just like so much beauty and value in two people having a conversation and then that conversation being recorded and then that recording existing forever. I just think that that is like so crazy, like infinitely valuable. And, even then, long after we're gone, like, yeah, chances are there's just like a very, very slim chance that like any conversation I will ever have will matter, 100 years from now. It's like in like, a history way or in like a something important happens, whatever way. But I think for me, like, the message that I want, the legacy that I want to leave is like, there truly is magic in the mundane of each of our lives. And you truly are valuable enough to be documented. You have an infinite, value inside of you, and your ideas matter and are valuable. And the things you say and do, and really at the root of it, like the love that you choose to express into the world, when you interact with somebody at a coffee shop or when you're commenting on Twitter, you know, the times that you choose love, the times that you choose to try to make um, the world or the person standing in front of you feel a little bit better, as opposed to bringing somebody down. Though that stuff's important. Like that stuff actually matters, and uh, like it also, there's times that we fail at that, like a lot, where you're in a bad mood and you don't take the time to try to make someone's life better. Like you just kind of respond out of, whatever. You don't really have time to think about like the infinite, the infinite potential of every single decision. Like nobody can live like that every single choice of every single day. Um, but there's also just an unlimited, infinite amount of redemption available out there, and if you made the wrong choice right now, the next second you can take steps to correct that choice and try to redeem it and bring it to your life and others people's lives to love, toward love. That is my unscripted kind of thoughts on legacy and my legacy. But all of that aside, I just think the fact that you captured a conversation with your friend who you just lost, is just infinitely valuable. And I'm so thankful that you did that.
Yeah, thanks. And adding to your thoughts about we can't always do the right thing all the time, that's why vulnerability is so powerful. And I'm such a huge advocate for it, that's what unites us to people. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like people don't care how cool you are at doing something. I mean, they do, but that's not going to connect their hearts to you.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to connect their hearts to you is to see you when you're in a place of, I really didn't want to care about this knife so much.
Right.
Like it's and it's like it's not this 4-letter word, and it doesn't mean like sitting and crying like about something. It's not, you're not trying to get something from someone, you're just showing a real part of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that right. Like there's all different paths to like becoming interested in a person, right? But like it's the vulnerability, whatever made you interested in them, when you then see them in a vulnerable state, I totally agree. Like that's the thing that connects hearts very much.
Yeah. Well, we have been going for an hour now, so I'm going to imagine that you're probably needing to do other things with your life.
Yeah, I'll grab some lunch.
Yeah, all right. Well, the way that I finish my conversations is I give hugs. Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk. And it's so cool because, I've read your name a million times. I've seen a few of your videos, and it's like, haven't we already talked? But nope, this is the first.
Right, right. Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Really
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Bye.